Hello everyone, this is part 9 of What If Naruto Fell in Love with Hinata in High School, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Hinata and Sakura headed down the stairs. So I look okay then? Hinata asked. She was wearing blue jeans and wore a light blue sleeveless shirt. You look fine, Sakura answered, walking alongside her. It'll be cold inside the theater, maybe I should go back and take a sweater or something. She turned around but was stopped by Sakura, who grabbed her arm. That's the point, she sighed. If it is cold, Naruto will give you his jacket for you to put on and help set up the mood. Trust me, I've seen this happen in movies. What are you so worried about anyways? Well, this will be the second time that I kiss him. Second, I thought that you guys haven't kissed before, Sakura said. Yeah, I meant first. I guess I'm just nervous, hee. Hinata chuckled. I'm leaving now, Dad, she shouted to the living room. She heard no response and left. They walked out the front gates and walked to Naruto's house. Okay, Hinata. Once we get to his house, I'll be leaving, so the rest is up to you. Sakura gave a thumbs up. Hinata nodded. After about 15 minutes, they arrived at Naruto's house. So this is where he lives, huh? Sakura stared at it. Not too bad, except for the ugly color. Well, I'll be leaving now. Good luck. Sakura waved goodbye to Hinata and walked down the sidewalk. She's gonna get to make out with Naruto. I feel kind of jealous. Sasuke doesn't even do any lovey-dovey things with me. It's just like I'm a bother to him. Whatever. She took her iPod out from her backpack and started listening to it. Hinata waved back and turned to the door. She gulped and knocked on the door. I hope he likes what I'm wearing. After a few seconds, the door opened, and Jiraiya greeted her. Hello, Hinata. My, you're looking lovely tonight. You're not planning on doing anything naughty with Naruto, are you? He laughed manically. No sir, she yelped and turned deep red. Maybe I'm wearing the wrong clothes. Go get ready, ya old fart. Naruto came from behind him and pushed him out of the way. Sorry about that, Hinata. He laughed, then he turned his eyes to her. Whoa, Hinata. Why, you look amazing, he gasped. Hinata blushed. Thank you, Naruto. She looked at her feet. You look pretty good yourself. She looked at him. He was wearing the same black jeans he wore on their first date. He had on a dark blue shirt with Databio written across the shirt, and over it he had on the orange jacket from last time. Thanks. Naruto opened the door enough so she could get in. Want to come in for a while? I got the tickets and I got the keys, let's go. Jiraiya shouted, running out the door, and ran to his car, unlocking all the doors. Never mind, Naruto said, closing the door behind him and locking it. Oh, don't worry, once we get to the theater we'll split up. No one will know that he's with us. The two of them sat together in the back of the car. Just because you're in the back, don't think I don't know what you're doing, hee. Jiraiya laughed, pointing at the mirror. Just shut up and drive the car. Naruto kicked the back of his seat, making Hinata giggle. Do the two of you always act like this? Hinata asked. Pretty much. He's a giant pervert, Naruto groaned. When they reached the movie theater, Hinata and Naruto got out first and went inside. After a few minutes, Jiraiya got out. They walked inside and saw kids running around the arcade machines. The movie starts in about 20 minutes. Let's get some snacks. Naruto ran to the concession stand. No one was there, so he pounded his fist on the table. Is anyone working here? He shouted out. Hold your horses, a voice shouted from the back. I'm refilling the popcorn machine. That voice sounds like Kiba's, doesn't it? Naruto asked. Yeah, it does. Hinata agreed. Hey Kiba, you work here? Naruto shouted. How do you know my name? He come to the front. He had on a red visor and a blue shirt with red stays. Hey Hinata, Naruto. You guys on a date here? Yeah. So how about giving us some snacks with a little discount? Naruto winked. PFFT. You wish, everyone pays full price. Kiba said. Fine, give us a large bag of popcorn, some sodas, Skittles. You want anything else, Hinata? No, I'm fine. That'll be $25.59. Kiba rang up the cash register. What? How the hell is it so much? Naruto complained. Hey, I don't come up with the prices, he said as Naruto pulled out a 20 and a 10 from his wallet. He told him to keep the change. Oh hey Naruto, he called out. Yeah, he was holding his pizza and popcorn and his soda. Me and Neji are planning on fighting you next week. We've been training our asses off. He smirked. I'm looking forward to it, he called back. When they entered their theater, Naruto asked, front or the back? Huh. Hinata looked shocked, thinking he meant something else. Want to sit in the front or the back? He repeated. Oh, let's sit in the middle, she said. They looked for a seat in the packed room. Luckily they found one. When they sat down, Hinata looked around and saw that there were a lot of people sitting around them. Maybe we should have sat in the back. I don't think I can kiss him with this many people around. She began fiddling with her fingers, something she had not done for a few weeks. Hinata, is something wrong? Naruto whispered. No, I'm just worried that my father will figure out we're dating. Relax. I'm sure he has no clue. Look, the movie's starting. He slouched in his chair. There were some people who had just entered. Excuse me. Pardon me. Oops, sorry. The voice came from the row behind them. Naruto looked back, but it was too dark to see who it was. All he could see were two girls walking down the aisle and sitting down behind them. We made it in time, Win shouted as the opening credits rolled across the big screen. Shush. The other people shushed her. Sorry, she said. So you couldn't come up with a plan? Don't worry, you got 3 years to come up with something, she whispered to Aria. Aria grabbed a handful of popcorn and put it in her mouth. Yeah, I guess. Maybe I should forget about him. Yeah, you know I'm always here. Win chuckled, poking Aria's BS. Aria slapped her hand away. You know I'm not like that. Weren't you going after Hinata? Not anymore. She was just a fad, I guess. She took a bite out of her chocolate bar. Opening credits are over. Make-out session. The movie. She smiled and stuffed the rest of the chocolate in her mouth. 40 minutes had passed since the movie started. Naruto and Hinata had not really spoken to each other. The only times they did was when a funny scene had passed. I don't like those books, but man, this movie sure is funny, isn't it? Hinata nodded, not taking her eyes off the screen. Another few minutes passed and the movie entered its first romantic scene. The hero had just confessed his love to the red-haired girl and was awaiting her response. The girl laughed and said that she had been in love with him too. The two smiled at each other and kissed. Hinata realized why she wanted to see this movie. I had almost forgotten. She looked at Naruto, who was stretching, and put her arm around her shoulders. Soon. Aria. Win whispered, stop pretending that's you and Naruto in the movie. I wasn't doing that. Aria blushed. Anyways, look at the guy in front of us. He stretched and put his arm around that girl. Wanna see how far he gets? Win laughed. Naruto. Hinata turned her head to face Naruto. Would you like to? She was stuttering badly. Naruto leaned forward and kissed her. Hinata's eyes shot wide open and she tensed up. I don't believe it. We're kissing? For real. She closed her eyes. She gripped her armrest as tightly as she could. Naruto softly touched her cheek with his right hand to comfort her, and she started to relax. Then, just as Naruto's tongue slipped into her mouth, Naruto. Aria's foot flew forward accidentally and kicked the back of Naruto's seat, breaking the kiss. She turned her head to the side. Sorry. She tried disguising her voice. Naruto, sorry if I'm no good at KK kissing. Even though the room was dark, you could tell she was red with embarrassment. That was my first kiss. She looked back at the screen. Don't worry. Naruto brought his arm around her again. You weren't bad at all. That was mine as well. We'll both get better at it. He laughed. Hinata rested her head on his chest. Even though the kiss lasted no more than a few seconds, it felt like an eternity to her. Naruto looked from the corner of his eye at Hinata. Hinata seemed to be shivering. Hinata, he called her. Yes, she said, not looking at him, still enchanted from the kiss they had. Here. Naruto took his jacket off and handed it to her. I thought you might be cold. Hinata took the jacket and thanked him. They made out. Right in front of me. Eria shouted in her head. You okay? Win asked, putting her hand on her shoulder. Eria nodded. Yes, I'm fine. For the rest of the movie, Eria kept her eyes on the boy in front of her. He kissed her. Why can't he kiss me? She felt extreme jealousy and anger come over her, but she kept her emotions to herself. After the movie wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Naruto laughed. It was pretty funny. What are you talking about? They destroyed my series. It had nothing to do with any of the books. Renaming all the characters, changing the time era, giving characters catchphrases. Jiraiya cried. Hinata, you look like you appreciate my books. What did you think of it? Well, she started. She doesn't read your books. They're too perverted, Gramps. Naruto cut her off. Is that so? Well, let's get going. Jiraiya said. Wait, Gramps. Naruto called out. We're going to stay here for a while and then I'll walk Hinata home. Really? Hinata asked. Are you sure? He asked. Naruto nodded his head. Be careful, it's dark out. Call me if anything happens. What are we going to do? Hinata asked. Well, we could stay here at the arcade for a while. Play a few games. Then on the way home we could, talk a bit, about stuff. Naruto was taking a while to finish his sentences. He looked at Hinata, who was pushing her pointer fingers together and staring at the floor. Maybe make out? Hinata asked. Just a little bit. She rose her head and looked at Naruto. Naruto and Hinata walked down the sidewalk. Neither of them was saying a word to each other. The night was warm, so Hinata had taken off Naruto's jacket and tied around her waist. Well, this silence is really awkward. Naruto thought, and he bet that Hinata was thinking the same thing. Start a conversation or something. So, the movie was good, right? Naruto said. Yeah, was all Hinata said. Why am I so nervous? I haven't felt like this since when we first became friends. Think of something to say. Quote. Yes. Nothing. Never mind. Damn, I must be really boring right now. Hinata walked a bit more before realizing that he stopped. Is something wrong, Naruto? Well, what you said back at the theater. Want to do it right now? He asked. Quote. Make out, I mean. Hinata stared at him for a while. Sure, but can we go somewhere else? What about that park over there? We can sit on the bench. Naruto pointed to the park near them. Hinata nodded her head. Naruto walked up to her, held her hand, and together they walked into the park. Oh man, me and Hinata, we're gonna make out in just a matter of seconds. Naruto was nervous, but you could hardly tell from the look on his face. He looked calm and collected. Hinata, on the other hand, was nervous inside and out. Naruto, me, kissing. In only a few moments. My heart feels like it's gonna explode. She was taking deep breaths. Hinata, are you alright? Naruto asked as they sat down on the bench. Yes, everything is fine. She smiled. She looked around the park. No one was around. The few street lamps and the moon was what kept it from being completely dark. Can you excuse me for a second? Hinata asked Naruto. Sure. Why for? He asked. Just got to tell my dad that I'll be home a little late. Hinata got up and ran behind a tree. She took out her cell phone and hit speed dial too. Pick up, she said under her breath. After a few rings, the person picked up. Hinata, how did the date go? Sakura said on the other line. It's still going on. We are in a park right now and about to make out. I'm a nervous wreck. Calm down, Hinata, Sakura said. Just take a deep breath. Hinata did as she was told. Okay, there's not much I can tell you. Just go with the flow, I guess. What kind of advice is that? She said. Look, Hinata, I can't help you with everything. She sighed. Alright, look, how about this? Try playfully biting his tongue or try tickling the roof of his mouth with your tongue. Ruffle his messy blonde hair, rub his arms, wrap your legs around his, look into those deep blue eyes of his and get lost in them. You'll know what to do from there. She hung up without warning. Alright, here goes. She got out from behind the tree and walked back to the bench. When she got there, Naruto was staring up at the night sky. Hinata sat down and looked up with him. The moon sure is big tonight, isn't it? Yeah. He turned to Hinata. Look, Hinata. Hinata turned and faced him. If you're not comfortable with this, we can try again some other time. Hinata shook her head. I'm ready. Her teeth were chattering slightly. All right. Naruto gulped as his face neared hers. Here it comes. Hinata thought and shut her eyes. Their lips locked. Both of them were too nervous on what to do next, so they stayed like that, sitting alone in a park, their lips together. Bite his tongue. His tongue isn't even out yet. Hinata started breathing heavily, and that's when they broke the kiss and pulled back. And nothing to it, huh? Naruto laughed. Just go with the flow, huh? Hinata was completely red. Yeah. She looked at him, ag again. She stood up. Wow. Hinata gasped. That was amazing. She sounded delighted. I know. Naruto smiled as he sat back on the bench. Hinata took out her phone. Let's go now, Naruto. It's almost 11. I told my dad I would be home by then. Naruto sprang up from his seat. All right. He grabbed Hinata's hand, walked out of the park. Hinata was clinging onto his arm. Behind them were two guys just exiting the park. When they noticed Hinata, and Naruto, but mostly Hinata. Hey, look at that babe. A guy in sunglasses and a mohawk said to the guy standing next to Hi. Look at those curves. He said, it's a shame she's with a loser blonde like that kid. Think we can convince her to come with us. This guy had on a leather vest and had his red hair slicked back. Hey, of course. The two of them sped up the pace to catch up to Hinata. When they did, they jumped in front of the couple. Hey, how you guys doing? Fine. Naruto said, walking around them. Wait, where you going, little lady? The guy wearing a vest said, grabbing Hinata's arm, pulling her back. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Naruto yelled. She wants to party with us, not you. The sunglasses guy said, pushing him back. Look at her, she's smiling. He pointed to Hinata. She's not scared, she wants to be with us. He laughed. Hinata was smiling. She knew she wasn't in any danger, not when she was with Naruto. You made him mad. She laughed. Huh. The guy that grabbed her asked. Take this. Naruto yelled out as he punched the guy who had Hinata in the gut, knocking the wind out of him. He rolled over on the floor, clutching his stomach. You're next. Naruto smirked. Wait. We can talk about this, right? The guy was pleading. Naruto paid no attention and punched him in the face, causing the glasses to break and leaving him with a broken nose. He fell on the floor trying to stop the bleeding. Naruto and Hinata ran away from there. Just like I thought, he really can protect me. I had nothing to worry about. Thank you, Naruto, she said when they slowed down. Hey, what kind of boyfriend would I be if I let them hurt you? Naruto winked at her. You wouldn't be a very good one. Hinata laughed. We're almost home, I can walk the rest of the way from here. I don't want my father to see you. Yeah, good night. Naruto and Hinata locked lips for the third time that night. See you on Monday, Naruto said when they parted. Hinata kicked off her shoes and placed them near the front door. Ahem. Her father cleared his tea, causing her to spin around. So, where are your bags? He asked, looking behind her. I decided not to buy anything. The only thing I really wanted was a book, but it doesn't come out till next month. She said, I'm going to bed now. Good night, father. She walked past him and headed up the stairs. When she got to her room, she expected to find her sister sitting on her bed ready to pester her on where she went or something of the sort. It is 11, maybe she fell asleep. Hinata undressed and threw her clothes on the floor. She reached under pillow for her night clothes. So where is no BS? Hanabi popped out from the closet. Hanabi, stop doing that, she yelled. I'll stop when it no longer funny. She laughed. Anyways, what did you do with Naruto? She asked. You were eavesdropping, weren't you? Hinata sighed as she sat on her bed. Hanabi just nodded her head and sat down next to her sister. Quote. Hinata closed her eyes and turned away. No, it was nothing like that. We just sat and watched the movie and that's it. So you went all out, Hanabi started, to try to make out with the guy of your dreams and failed, huh? Hinata did not feel like arguing, she was in the best mood of her life and was not about to let her sister ruin it. Yeah, it just didn't happen. PFFT. What a loser. Hanabi jumped off the bed and ran out the room laughing. Whatever, today was a dream come true, it could have gone without those thugs trying to take me, but it was still great. She turned the lights off, tucked herself into her bed. I'm younger than you and can stay up longer. Hanabi shouted from outside. Naruto took his keys out and unlocked the door. Boss, Konohamaru shouted from his window. You forgot about my training again. No, I didn't. I cancelled it. I told your mom to tell you that. Naruto shouted back. Konohamaru ran down the stairs and jumped over the fence and went to Naruto. What was more important than my training? Oh Naruto, you're back. Jiraiya opened the door. Come in, come in. You too, Konohamaru. He pushed the two of them inside. Tell me what happened. He doesn't want to hear about this. Naruto yelled. About what? Konohamaru asked. Him and Hinata doing the dirty. Jiraiya laughed. We didn't do that, perv. Naruto kicked the side of his head. What did happen? Konohamaru asked. Naruto sighed and told him everything that happened. Whoa, thatta boy. Jiraiya patted his shoulder. Soon you get to do much more than that. Shut up with that. Naruto yelled. Whoa. Konohamaru was speechless. One punch, and you knocked them both out. You have to keep training me. His eyes sparkled. Tomorrow at noon more training. He ran out the house. Yeah. Naruto said. He looked at Jiraiya, who had that same smile on his face. That's it, I'm going to bed. He stomped up the stairs. I wonder how everything went with Hinata. Naruto looks like he's a great kisser. Does Hinata think that I like him? Why am I thinking about him again? Sakura sat up and looked at her cell phone. Sasuke never calls, and when I call him, he rarely picks up. She picked it up and dialed his number. The phone rang a few times and to her surprise he actually picked up. Sasuke, Sakura said. What? He replied coldly. Just wanted to know how you were doing. Is that it? Quote. You know Sasuke, I've had it. Every time I try to talk you completely ignore me. You have no respect for anyone else. We are breaking up, Sakura yelled. Whatever. He yawned as he hung the phone up. What the hell did I see in that jerk? Sakura pouted, throwing her phone on the floor. Naruto is more my type. Area and Win walked home. Look Area. Here is how I see it. Hinata seems to be madly in love with Naruto, and Naruto seems to be getting there, so you have to break him up if want any chance of getting with Naruto. Area didn't say anything. Area, you there? She waved a hand in front of her face. You're right. Area finally spoke. I have to break him up. Otherwise I will have no chance. Her eye fired up. That's the spirit. Break him up. Win laughed. So how are you going to do it? I know a guy that might be willing to help. Area smirked. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.